Everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a very exciting one because I'm finally going to be doing a bookshelf tour. I've gotten a couple of comments asking when I'm going to be doing a bookshelf tour. I've mentioned a couple of times in videos that I'll eventually be doing a bookshelf tour, but I just haven't really wanted to make one because I haven't been happy with how my shelves look. But I rearranged them yesterday and I'm kind of finally obsessed with them. Like, there's a few shelves here and there that I'll point out during the bookshelf tour that I love how they look, and I'm just finally gonna be doing a little bookshelf tour. I'm not gonna be going through every single book that I own because then we'll be here for like 5 hours. I have over 200 books. I counted them yesterday. The numbers weren't great, but yeah, I have like 200 to 250-ish books. I think it's close to 300 though, perhaps. But yeah, I have a lot of books, and I'm really excited to finally show you guys my bookshelves, going shelf by shelf and showing you books that I loved, special editions that I really love, and just pointing out a couple of books here and there. But I'm not going to be showing every single book that I have. But yeah, so if you want to see my bookshelf tour, then just keep on watching. So at the very top of my first shelf, I have all of my classics. Clearly I have a lot of classics. Have I read most of these? No, but I do want to point out a couple of editions that I really like. So I have this little skull, I think it's supposed to be like a candy dish, that I got at Target last year during Halloween, and it just has a bunch of my bookmarks in it. And then I have a bunch of different editions of classics. These are the Barnes & Noble Shakespeare editions that I really like. I've been collecting them secondhand because I just think they look so cool. So I have those, and then I have this edition of Pride and Prejudice that I got at a used bookstore near me that actually closed down, which is really sad, but my boyfriend got this for me. It's Pride and Prejudice. It's like super old and it's like a vintage edition of it, and it's just so cool. Like, look at the yellow pages, and there's like illustrations throughout it, and I just think this is so cool. So I have this at the very beginning over here. I really enjoy these Penguin English Library editions, I think is what these really colorful ones are called. I have over here the picture of Dorian Gray, which is very annotated, and then next to that I have some Penguin cloth bound editions of the picture of Dorian Gray, obviously because it's one of my favorite classics. And then I have the Count of Monte Cristo, which is another new favorite that I finally finished reading very recently. And then I have this Oxford World Classics edition of the picture of Dorian Gray that my friend Megan got for me when she went to France. And it has a little it has a, oh god, everything's falling. But there's a bookmark and like a little Shakespeare and Company little like card thing, like punch card, and then she just wrote this little note on the inside. And I have this new edition to add to my collection. I just love these editions a lot. I want to collect more of these because I think they're so cool. So yeah, that's another one of my editions of the picture of Dorian Gray. I have 4 copies as of right now. I have another one over here on display. This is the, what are these editions called? I have another one over here. These are like the, I'm not sure what these are called actually. Harper something. I don't know, like the Macmillan Collectors Library. I have 2 of these Macmillan Collectors Library editions. And then I have the picture of Dorian Gray one on display because obviously. And then over here in the corner I just have all of my Penguin classics. I have a lot of them. A lot of them have gone secondhand. And yeah, I just have a bunch over here, and at the top I have a Penguin Little Black classic. And yeah, I really like this shelf a lot. I just think it looks so cool, like having all my classics here, and then this stack is just so satisfying. I wish they were all, you know, the original logo because they changed recently to this logo that I really don't like that much. But yeah, these are all of my classics. These angles really aren't great, so I apologize, but next to my classics shelf, which is right here, I have all of my graphic novels. I have my Heartstopper graphic novels, and then these little like Heartstopper novellas, Nick and Charlie and This Winter, the Heartstopper yearbook, and then these are just some books that I read in like elementary school, and then I have things, and then I have some Fence volumes, Paper Girls, and some, I really like these graphic novels a lot, the Heavy Vinyl series. I'm not sure what it's called. I don't know if they're even still making more volumes of it, but I really enjoyed it when I read it. And then I just have this little Kuromi Funko Pop in the front, and I really like this shelf a lot. I love all of the colors of it, and I just think it looks really nice, especially with this little Kuromi. Like, it just ties it all together. I don't know, I really like this shelf a lot. So this right here is one of a couple of shelves. I really don't like how it looks. I just don't really know how to organize these books because I like how all of my other shelves look, so this just kind of turned into like a dump shelf for all of the other books that didn't have a spot anywhere else. So these are just a bunch of random like Greek myth retellings. I have my Hunger Games books, have some middle grade, some like literary fiction, I have a manga in there, and just a random assortment of books that really have no rhyme or reason to them. Like, the colors together look decent enough, but I don't know, these are just a bunch of random books that I didn't know where else to put them, so I just put them all the way up at the top where you can't really see them when I'm filming. So yeah, there's that. And then at the very end I have a little rabbit statue to just kind of hold the books up because they were starting to fall over a little bit. But yeah, this shelf I really don't like it that much, so I'm just gonna move on. So now the second row of shelves here, I actually really like how all of these look. So first up we have my romance shelf. I love all of the colors. I love my little Ariel and Prince Eric Funko Pops, and then over there I have a candle that my boyfriend got me for my birthday. It's one of those birth date candles, and yeah, we just have a bunch of romance books. I have some Casey McQuiston, I have some Talia Hibbert. This right here is another book that Megan got for me for my birthday. It just has a little note on the inside. She's gotten me a lot of books, as you will probably see. And then over here I just have my Emily Henry books. Some of these are personalized. No, it's not this one. Like this one right here, Beach Read, is personalized on the inside, which I just love so much. And I do indeed have 2 copies of Book Lovers because one of them was a pre-order. It was this one, I think. This was a signed and personalized pre-order, but then it was taking too long to come in the mail and I really wanted to read it. So I went to Target and I bought this one that I did start reading, but as you can see I did not finish because I DNF'd it because I just really wasn't enjoying the story. And then we have People with Me on Vacation, which is my favorite Emily Henry book, as you can see by all of the tabs, and there's like a lot of like highlights and stuff in it, and I love this one a lot. And it does have a signed book plate actually. I wish it was like actually like signed in like my other editions, but I didn't feel like ordering one because I already had the book plate, so I was like, why would I buy another signed book? But I'm starting to regret not doing that. But yeah, those are all of my Emily Henry books, and you'll notice that there's one not here and you will see why. But yeah, so I have some more romances over here. This one I got recently at Powell's Books in Portland, A Lady for a Duke, and I found it used, which I was really excited about. I'm so excited to read this one. I'm kind of in my historical romance era right now, so I might get to this one soon. So really excited about that one. And then I have my original self-published editions of the Love Light series by B.K. Borison. I just love these covers so much. I love just like the font and everything. The new covers, I like them as well, but I just love like the charm and just the cuteness that these have. Like, I don't know, I love this font and everything a lot. So I have the 3 Love Light series books. And then I'm running out of space over here. Like, I really have to jam these books in because there's truly no space. But since I already have this one out, 7 Days in June, another book that I really loved, annotated, and I did meet the author, so it is signed on the inside, which is really cool. And the book that I'm currently reading is A Matter of Temptation by Stacey Reed. It's a mass market, which I used to hate mass market paperbacks, but I'm kind of starting to love them because I love all of the covers on this one, and I coordinated my tabs with the color of the book, and it just doesn't it look so cool, and like my bookmark matches too. And I don't know, I think I'm in my mass market paperback romance era because I'm just loving the experience of like holding and reading this one for some reason. I don't know, I'm really enjoying this book so far. I started reading it on Kindle on my flight to Seattle, and then we went to a Half Price Books location and I found this one. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it because I'm enjoying it so far and I love the cover and I want to have it on my shelf. So that's the story of that one. So I'm just gonna squeeze this back there. And then moving over, we have my first manga shelf. These are my Spy Family volumes. I have a volume of Haikyuu, I have Orange, and then I have the Savior's Book Cafe Story in Another World, which is a super long title, but I'm really excited to read that one because like a cozy, bookish fantasy manga, which sounds so fun. And then over here at the top, my boyfriend, when we went to Disney, he got me this little like bear little statue thing, and it's like kind of glittery, and I just have it up here because why not. And then I have this little Lloyd figurine that I got at Kinokuniya in Seattle, and I just think it's so cute, and I have him right next to the volume 1 cover that's on display, as it should be, because look how stunning he looks. And yeah, this is my first little manga shelf. And then we have my pride and joy, my favorite shelf of all time with my favorite manga of all time, Yona of the Dawn. I have all 39 volumes that are currently out. Yeah, I don't really know how this happened, but yeah, this is my Yona shrine, if you will. I have 2 of my favorite covers on display, especially volume 30. Like, that volume was so good. And then over here I have this little like stand thingy that I got on AliExpress, I think it was, because finding Yona of the Dawn merch is impossible because it doesn't exist. So yeah, I love this series so much. If you've been on my channel for any length of time, then you know how much I love this series. I'm still on volume 31 because I don't want it to end, you know, like I don't want to have no Yona volumes to read. That just sounds like a very horrifying prospect. So I've been taking my time reading the series, and yeah, this is my little Yona shelf, and I just love it so much. I think this is another one of my favorite shelves because it is my favorites shelf. Like, these are all of my favorite books, and I just love having a shelf dedicated to all my favorite books, because if I'm ever in a reading slump or I just don't know what to read, I know I can go to this shelf and I'll definitely be able to find something that will help with that reading slump. So I love having this shelf dedicated to all of my favorite books. I have all my Percy Jackson books right here. And then I have this Pergabeth candle that I got from Fire Nation Creations on Etsy, which I think is so cute. And then this is a little like Percy Jackson pendant necklace type thing that is originally from some sort of book subscription. I don't remember which one, but I got it on Pango because I'm not subscribed to any bookish boxes. And I wanted to have something for my Percy Jackson little shelf, and I found this. I think this is so cute because on one side it has Riptide, which is Percy's sword, and then on the back it has the owl for Annabeth. I just think it's so cute, so I just have it hanging right there. And then this right here is the little bag that necklace came in. It just says, "The sea does not like to be restrained." And I just have this here right next to all my Percy Jackson books. And then I have this edition of The Lightning Thief that I got at Powell's Books recently. This is the tie-in cover of The Lightning Thief, obviously, and I just think it's so funny and too iconic to not have it. So when I saw it, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it. I love Percy Jackson, so I want to have another little edition for my collection. So that's what that is. And then I have These Violent Delight series by Chloe Gong, Know My Name by Chanel Miller, such a good memoir. And then Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too is one of my favorite graphic novels. It's just so comforting and cute and validating, and I just love it a lot. And then on display I have A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. I love this book so much. Like, it's just such another feel good, comforting story, and I love it so much. And then next to that I have the second book in that duology, and then I have It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali, and then I have 2 editions of Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. This is the UK paperback one. I love these UK editions of Alice Oseman's books. I just think they're so cool. So I have that, and then I have the US edition, which honestly isn't that cute, so I'm not gonna pull it out. But yeah, I have 2 editions of Radio Silence, and then I have Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Probably my favorite TJR book, because I've tried reading her other books and none of them hit as much as Daisy Jones does. The show isn't great, but the book is incredible. And then I have all my Six of Crows editions. I have a couple of them. These hardbacks are the original editions that I read in high school. They have like the sprayed pages and everything. Like, these are the original, like, first editions, I guess you could say. And then I have a paperback of Crooked Kingdom because I wanted to annotate this book, but I didn't want to annotate with the red spray edges because ew, obviously. So yeah, I got a paperback edition of Crooked Kingdom, and then at the bottom here you'll see I have like a little bit of a decoration situation, but I'll show it better once I move on to the second shelf. So this little area right here is my little Six of Crows shrine. Six of Crows is another one of my all-time favorite series. It's the first book series that I ever fell in love with when I read it for the first time in high school, and I love this series a lot. And as you can see, I have a couple of editions of it. These are the collector's editions. My boyfriend got me this one for Christmas a few years ago, and then I got myself Six of Crows recently. I have this little Crow Club sign, which is from, I don't remember the name of the shop, but it's from a shop on Etsy, and I just think it's so cool, so I just have it right here. And then I have this little Fierda, Kirch, and Rafka little Six of Crows sign from that same shop as the Crow Club one. I'll put the name of the shop somewhere on the screen and also in the description if you're interested, because I just think they have such cool and unique, like, bookish decorations. So that's where those 2 things are from. And then these are just the character cards for the Six of Crows characters, and I just printed them out, put some cardstock behind them, and just taped them to the shelf. I got this idea from Throne of Pages because she has a similar, or like the exact same thing on her shelf. And since I love Six of Crows so much, and I knew I was gonna do like a dedicated little shrine area for it, I was like, you know what, I want to put all of the little character cards. Well, I should have flipped this the other way around, because Wyland, and that's Kuwait, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this should be flipped around. I just realized that. I don't feel like fixing it right now, but yeah, that needs to be flipped around. But yeah, so this is probably my favorite part, or like one of my favorite parts of my shelf, just this little area right here dedicated to just Six of Crows, because exactly. I think this is another one of my favorite shelves just because I love how the colors look, and just something about the organization and the color scheme, and just something about this shelf I really love a lot. Like, this is probably one of my favorite shelves. I don't know, just something about this shelf I really love a lot. So this is kind of like, yeah, this actually is like my fantasy shelf. So I have the first 2 Poppy War books, I have some Avatar books, I have that dragon book that was horrible, I have The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. As you can see, I have a little bookmark in it because I did indeed start reading it. I made it a decent way through, as you can see, but then I just stopped because I was overwhelmed by it, but I do want to revisit it at some point in time. I have the last 2 Cruel Prince books. Where is the first one, you may ask? I don't know, actually. Yeah, the first one's in paperback, so that's why it's not on this shelf. I actually don't know where it is. I guess we'll find out as we continue this tour. But then I have the Priory of the Orange Tree, Magic, Sleep, and Poison. I have the Mistborn trilogy and the white UK paperbacks because I love these editions so much. I want to get as many of his books in these white paperbacks as I can because I just think they're so cool. And then I have The Sword of Kaigen. This is another book that Megan got for me. Yes. Then I have The Wolf and the Woodsman, Manga to Small and Good Planet, and then Jade City at the bottom. And I have this little mushroom that I got at Target, and then a Kyoshi from Avatar Funko Pop next to the Kyoshi books. And yeah, I really love this shelf a lot. Just something about it is so pleasing to me. And I don't think I'm ever gonna change this shelf because I really like how it looks. So this right here is my red, white, and black books shelf. I saw Katie is Reading had a similar shelf in her bookshelf tour, and I got really inspired to make one of my own because there's something about all of these colors together is so satisfying. So I really love this shelf a lot. It's probably another one of my favorites, like aesthetic wise. I just think it looks so nice. So I had a couple of V.E. Schwab books. Here's the paperback of the Cruel Prince that I was talking about because my sister got me this for Christmas, but it's paperback, so it obviously doesn't match with the hardcovers that I have. But yeah, I was wondering where this book was. I have a couple of some prized possessions in here. So down here I have the original hardcover of, I'm just taking it out. I have the original hardcover of Vicious. I am obsessed with this cover. I'm still so mad that they changed it. And my friend was selling some of her books, and she was selling this one for like $7. And I was like, you know what, give it to me because I need to have this edition on my shelf because hello, I love this cover so much. So I'm so happy that I have this book on my shelf. And some of my other prized possessions are my original covers in hardback of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I was searching for so long for these books at a reasonable price because these are the first edition hardcovers, so they're obviously out of print, so they're obviously going to be way more expensive than they should be because people are reselling them. But I was able to hunt down these books on like eBay, and they're honestly in great condition. Like the pages aren't yellowed at all. I don't know, it looks like under the dust jacket. Yeah, it just looks like it's in such good condition. And I love these covers so much. I really don't like the new covers for this series. I just think these are so cool. So I first got Shadow and Bone, and then I got Siege and Storm. I don't even know how much I paid for these, but they were at a really good price. I think I got them for like $30 or something like that, which is a lot for a book, but for these books is very, very cheap. And then I got Shadow and Bone for I think like $50, which is a little expensive. But the other ones that I had seen were like over $100. So I was like, you know what, this is a steal, so I'm gonna buy them. And again, in fantastic condition. The pages aren't yellowed at all, and it just is in such good condition. And then my boyfriend got me Moon and Rising for my birthday because I was struggling to find this one for like less than $100, and he got it for me for an undisclosed amount because he refuses to tell me how much he paid for it. But yeah, again, such good condition. This one has a little bit of yellowing on the pages, but it's still in great condition, and I just love these editions so much. I'm so happy to have them on my shelf because they just look so cool. So yes, I am obsessed with those books. The series itself isn't my favorite series of all time, but I wanted to have all of Leigh Bardugo's books in my library, and I was missing these because I refused to buy the new covers, and I'm just so happy with them. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this shelf. I think I have another edition of the Hunger Games right here. This is the one that I read in high school in paperback, but I wanted to have them in hardcover, so I bought them secondhand. And yeah, that's pretty much all for this shelf right here. I just really wanted to show these 4 books here because those are my prized possessions. I love them so much. So this is my middle grade shelf. For little decorations, I have this Katara from Avatar Funko Pop, and then at the top I have this little mug that I got also from Pango Books. I think it was in that same order as the Percy Jackson necklace. This is from some book subscription service. I don't remember which one, but it's just this super cool little teapot. This is like the underworld, and this is like Olympus, and like it fits the vibe of the Heroes of Olympus series, obviously, which it's on top of. And yeah, so those are my Heroes of Olympus books, and then I just have a bunch of other random little middle grades, and I really like how this shelf looks. It's not my favorite aesthetic wise, but I still really like this one a lot. And then over here is my like literary fiction slash literally anything else that I didn't have another spot for, because like there's a lot of literary fiction, there's some like sci-fi in there, there's some romances, there's some historical fiction in there, I think. This is just a random mix of books. There's really no specific organization to it. I just liked all of the colors together. I have all my Frederick Bachman books here. Where's this one is another book Megan got for me. I have my Queen Charlotte book that I got recently because I really loved the TV show, so I wanted to get the book for it. I've heard the book honestly isn't that great, but I just wanted to have, you know, them. So love them so much. Another one of my prized possessions. I have a lot of prized possessions if you couldn't tell, but I have the original paperback indie copy of Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I'm so happy that I have this one. Have I read it yet? No. But I have it, and I love this edition so much. I really don't like the new cover at all, so I'm very happy to have that one. And then I also had the Atlas 6 somewhere. Oh, it's all the way at the top. I don't feel like pointing it out, but if you could see, I have the original cover of the Atlas 6 also. But yeah, these are just a bunch of random books. And another prized possession that I have is this arc of Yellowface. I'm still so shocked that I have this because my sister works at Barnes & Noble and she was able to get me an arc, because apparently they get arcs sent to them, and this was just sitting on their arcs shelf, and I was like, you know what, please give that to me, I need it. So I have it. And I also have a finished copy of Yellowface. Did I like this book? Not necessarily. Do I have 2 editions of it? Yes, I do, but you know what? Who cares? And yeah, this is just like a bunch of random little books that looked somewhat nice together. It's not my favorite looking shelf. This stack right here is my favorite because I just love all of these colors, but the shelf as a whole is a little bit chaotic, but like it kind of works, I think. I don't know. So I think this right here is another one of my favorite looking shelves. This is my non-fiction and poetry shelf. So over here I have some short story collections, memoirs, anything that's non-fiction I have on this side. Like at the beginning I have I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, which was such a good memoir. And then another one that I really enjoyed, Word Slut by Amanda Montell, a feminist guide to taking back the English language. This was really interesting, and I listened to it on audio, and I think she narrates it herself if I'm not mistaken. And then what else? Yeah, most of them I haven't read yet. And then on display over here I have Felicity by Mary Oliver, my favorite Mary Oliver collection. I love Felicity so much. Every single poem in that collection I just adored, so I had to have it on display. And then over here is all of my poetry. So I have some Rumi, Ryan Carlotto. I have a lot of Mary Oliver. I have Why I Wake Early, Dream Work, which Megan got for me, Hello, Upstream, Dog Song, American Primitive, and then Devotions, which is in hardcover actually. I do have a paperback of it, but when I went book shopping in Seattle and I found a hardcover of Devotions, I was like, yes, give it to me, please. So I'm gonna be transferring my annotations from the paperback to the hardcover because I love having hardcovers for my favorite books. And this is another book I got in Seattle. Also, this is Poems by Louise Gluck. I think Clara has been reading this poetry collection. She's been really enjoying it, and she compared it to Mary Oliver, if I'm not mistaken. And I love Mary Oliver, so when I saw that, I was like, yes, please give it to me. Thank you. And then we have Fragments of Sappho, another book Megan got for me. And then I just have some more poetry at the end. And then as a little decoration over here, I have this little like strawberry basket tray pot thing that I got in Seattle. It's handmade with air dry clay, and it's just so cute. So I have it over here because I feel like it works really well with these colors. And then I just have another little ceramic bunny over there that's also from Target. I did have to sacrifice some books to keep Felicity on display, but Felicity deserves to be on display. Like, she needs to have her moment to shine, so she will always be on display no matter what, because that's what she deserves. So here is, once again, another one of my favorite shelves. I have a lot of my favorite shelves towards the bottom because usually when I film, I sit on the floor and I want to have the shelves that I like the most near the bottom so that they're in the background of my videos. But yeah, this is like my pinkish, purplish shelf, I guess. These are just a bunch of random pink and purple books. So I have a book by Chloe Gong, I have some Elena Ferrante, I have Frederick Bachman here, which is And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer, which I adored. It was my first book by Frederick Bachman and I really loved it so much, so I had to buy a physical copy of it. And then I have a bunch of other random like YA books, and they're all pinky purpley. And then at the top over there I have a little Sunny Angel. This is the pink happy birthday cake one, because when I showed Megan my pink shelf, she's like, it needs a Sunny Angel on there, and I was like, you know what, you're right. So I just have this little pink Sunny Angel at the top. Then I also have this absolutely stunning candle. Like, this is a candle, it smells amazing. I'm not gonna be burning it though, but it's on this beautiful like butterfly dish. Look how stunning that is, and then look at the teacup that it's in. It is just so pretty. Me and my boyfriend were in the mall one day and we passed by a little vendor that was selling a bunch of these like teacup candles, and I was like, I want one so bad. So I picked out this one and he got it for me, and I didn't know where to put it for the longest time, but I think it looks really nice here because it's like pinkish, so I think it looks nice on my pink shelf. And then I have this little bust vase thing that I got at a little shop in Orlando, and it just has some flowers in it. And yeah, this is like my pinky purpley shelf, and I think it looks really cute. And then this over here is something. Let me explain. So I have a reading chair, and my reading chair sits right here. So I was like, why am I gonna put books in there if you're not even gonna be able to see them? So this is kind of like my storage shelf, if you will. Like, I have some like memory boxes, I have a puzzle, I have the box that my little Lloyd statue came in, I have like extra decorations like that little mushroom, and then I just have miscellaneous books. This is the book that I had to sacrifice to be able to make Felicity fit on display on my poetry shelf. And then I have books that I want to unhaul, like this one here, an extra edition of Pride and Prejudice. I really don't have anywhere else to put it. It didn't fit on my pink shelf, so it didn't really have any other spot. And then I have books that I didn't know where to put them, like Happy Place by Emily Henry. I did not like that book at all. I hate the hot pink. I hate that it's hardcover. So I was like, you know what? You don't fit anywhere else on my shelf. You're gonna ruin the vibes. So you're gonna go into hiding back here because it's what you deserve. So that's why Happy Place is there. And then I have a book by Adam Silvera. Didn't really fit anywhere else. Female of the Species. I hate that lime green cover, so again, didn't fit anywhere else. I have some red books that didn't fit on my red books shelf. And then over here I have the first Twilight book, which again didn't really fit anywhere else. I probably could have fit it somewhere, but it doesn't really matter. These just like overflow books basically, and you can't even see them because it's covered by my chair, so I don't really care that you can't see them. So that's that. So now we are down to the very bottom shelf. So that's why I'm having to hold my camera, because my tripod, it's not going to work obviously. So I apologize for the handheld shaky camera, but this is one of the very last shelves. This is just more fantasy books. Basically, there's some thrillers in there. Well, there's one. No, there's 2 thrillers in there, but it's mostly just a bunch of other fantasy books. And yeah, there's really not much to say about them. I have this little, is it backwards? It is backwards. Yeah, this little pin that I got for my birthday. And then I have an Aang and Momo Funko Pop. And these are just a bunch of random fantasy books. And then next to that, I'm still deciding how I feel about this shelf, because sometimes I like how it looks, but then I look at it more and I'm like, actually you're kind of hideous. But these are just more fantasy books. So we have Fears of Flames by Olivia Rose Darling, which I recently read and I am absolutely obsessed with it. It is probably one of my new favorite books of all time. It was just so good. Like, I absolutely love that book so much, and I'm currently in the process of transferring my Kindle annotations to it. And then next to that, I have another dragon book, which I recently got in Seattle, A Natural History of Dragons. I also got these books in Seattle, Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares. I found them used, which I was really excited about. And then I have Dragonfall, another dragon book. And then I have 2 editions of Divine Rivals. This is the UK hardcover of it. Look how stunning that cover is. And then next to that, I have the Fairy Loot edition that I honestly paid way too much money for. I'm not going to disclose the amount, but I paid way too much for it, but I had to, because look how stunning it is. Like, just look at everything about it. It came with the tarot cards and the note from the author, and just the sprayed pages. Like, hello, how could I not have this in my life? So I have the Fairy Loot edition of Divine Rivals, and I have it on display with the pages facing out, because I love those stencil edges so much. And then I have my Carissa Broadbent books. I absolutely loved The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I read it on Kindle, and then read this one also on Kindle, Six Scorched Roses, which is the novella in that series. And then I also bought the last book in that series because I wanted to have physical copies of them. I'm not going to pull them out because those books are so massive, but they have a really nice naked hardcover to it, so that's why I bought them in hardcover, and I wanted to have physical copies to transfer my annotations eventually. But yeah, that's my little fantasy shelf that I'm still deciding if I like how it looks or not. I think it works for now. And then we have another overflow shelf. It's honestly not as messy as it could be, so yeah, this is what it looks like. I have this Tangled Funko Pop that I recently got of Rapunzel and Flynn. I just don't know where to put it because it's so massive. So I'm just still deciding what to do with this. And then I just have more books over here that didn't really fit anywhere else because of the colors of them. And just random magazines. I have some puzzles, I have my Animal Crossing game, some DVDs, like decoration-y things. But yeah, since you can't really see this shelf since it's covered by my chair, I simply do not care. So these last 2 shelves right here are just for storage. But yeah, so that is it for my bookshelf tour. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at my bookshelves and seeing how I have them organized. They have definitely been a work in progress for a very long time, but I'm finally happy with how they look, and I hope you enjoyed looking at them as well. Maybe it gave you some inspiration for how to organize your shelves, because I definitely know that I get a lot of inspiration for my bookshelf organization from other people. Also, let me know in the comments down below how you organize your shelves, because everyone organizes their shelves very differently. So I'm really interested to see how you guys organize your shelves. So let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!